reckon we're about 20 odd seconds or so away from the start. Actually, no, we are underway in Women's Division 7. A great start from Brasenose. They'll be looking to jump the rest of the field and hold their top of the division all the way down the line. Wolfson, a really poor line off the start. We can see there from the crew who set off third. Adjustments to be made, and what an opportunity that is for Trinity to try and close the door of them. We mentioned Osler House. What a cracking start there for Osler House's first boat in this division. They've already caught Wilson 5. Wilson 5 conceded. They've got a soldier on, but you really can't ask for a better start than that for Osler House's first crew. Caught before Donington Bridge, and a nice paddle all the way down. We're currently riding with Trinity. We're going to head with Trinity all the way through Donington Bridge, and hopefully we'll be able to get a shot looking down towards the gut. Yep, there we see Wolfson. Wilson closing in on Teddy Hall closing in on Brasenose. They'll be looking to catch them before the gut. So a really good start from Teddy Hall closing in of them, but also important for them pulling away from Wolfson behind them.
Yes, so we can see that Teddy Hall are really close. They've just gone into the middle of the river though, it's because they bumped already. So they have now bumped, so they will be top of the division and rowing on later. And it was, again, as I predicted, Teddy Hall had a really good start there. Although not as fast as yesterday, but still, clearly, if you get the bump before the gut, then it's very much the job got done at the end of the day. So Brasenose will now be kind of continuing to row, hoping that Wolfson W4 doesn't catch up with them above the gut. And in shot here, we have Teddy Hall, the last boat, number 10, so that's Teddy Hall W3. There are two Teddy Hall boats in this crew. And with this shot, this is a brilliant shot. We've got 6 boats here, which look quite close. There was probably about a boat length in between these crews. And with St. Anthony's at the bottom of the screen, Osler, the second Osler boat above that, and then these... Oh, we have a bump potentially coming up here, and this is between St. Cat's, and it must be, yes, this is the Teddy Hall W3 boat then.
Yeah, Teddy Hall managing to get them up on the inside there. Great line, great steering from the Teddy Hall Cox. Looks to me as if they're going to catch them. If they put in maybe a quick power 10, they'll catch them as we head down into the gut. There we go. There's the concession from St. Cat's. Great row from Teddy Hall. Both Teddy Hall boats, I believe, have bumped, and we can just see in the distance there. I believe that is Osler House. Osler House heading down towards what I believe will be Wolfson. Will be the next boat in their sights. We already talked about hopefully the success they're going to have, and they were riding there. I think that is Osler House's second 8, and closing the gap on Wolfson 5. Adam.
Yeah, let's see if we can zoom out a little bit to see the gap in between this Osler boat and the Wolfson boat ahead of them. Because this is the Greenbank section. So generally, this is a nice straight stretch and a great opportunity for the Cox to call for a push. So we'll see if Osler in the next few strokes is closing that gap. I think they're about 3/4 of a boat length in between them. No, that's more than a half. And it looks like Osler are closing that gap with the Wolfson boat ahead of them. In fact, closing into about 1/4 of the length by midway down Greenbank. So I think that could be another bump happening by the end of Greenbank. Although potentially the Wolfson Cox that I actually know might take an evasive maneuver and cross a little bit early, potentially just to try and create a bit more gap in between the two crews.
Yeah, in the same way we saw in the first division. A great day for Christchurch. It looks to be a great day potentially on the cards for Osler House. Both of their 8s looking to get bumps ahead of Wilson. No, Trinity looking strong. Trinity looking strong as if they're going to stay in the position they are in. But we can see there just on the left-hand side of your screen as the camera pans around. It's going to be a tussle. It's going to be an awesome tussle between Osler House's second crew and Wolfson if they're going to catch them before. But looking at the blades so far, we're currently riding with Wolfson
Brasenose
and
W2 at the
Brasenose.
front. Yeah, we're close to a concession. I would say that's a lot of overlap to try and ignore. There you go. There's the concession. I was about to say they're going to have blade-on-blade contact in a second. So Wolfson W4 will now be trying to clear the racing line as quickly as possible to get out of the way of any trouble. And Brasenose W2 will now have Trinity, if I'm correct, chasing them. But I think that should be a big enough gap, and they're close enough to the finish that they should be able to row it in safely.
So the bumps so far, that is both Teddy Hall and Wolfson 4 bumping Brasenose. Great start, great start for to day 2 for Teddy Hall and Wolfson. They'll all be leapfrogging Brasenose, and as we predicted, it's sort of a downward spiral now we've seen for day 1 and day 2 for Brasenose. First of all, slipping into Division 7, and now being bumped twice, so they've got to make it all the way to the finish line. It obviously is not too far now, just about a couple hundred meters or so. Barring any incident, they shouldn't slip any further. We've also had Osler House bumping Wilson 5, and we've also had Teddy Hall 38 bumping St. Katz's 38 at the bottom of the division as well. So a little bit of position changing. We see there Wolfson coming into shot. They're still chasing down Trinity. That is Wilson 5 hunting down Trinity. Doesn't look like Trinity are going to be caught. They're going to hold on, I think, to their position all the way through to the finish. Great row from them and a great row from Wolfson College as well. Both crews looking strong as we come up to the finish. So the last couple of hundred meters of Women's Division 7.
No, you're right. I think that gap can't be caught up with really before the clacker. But that's amazing rowing. Their blade work is still very in time, really, which is a surprise considering, and again, we've mentioned this yesterday, that some of these crews have had very few hours of practice on the water and also very few hours on the Elks because of the COVID restrictions. And they have just rown a 1.8 kilometer stretch. Maybe it's just me who's a not particularly sporty person, but I think that's an amazing achievement with 6 weeks training, maybe a little bit more than 6 weeks. But normally at this time of year, most of the people in our boats will have rown since October. Potentially they'll have joined in January, but they'll have had considerably more practice and training than these crews that we're seeing out today. And that's true for all of the rowers and coxers in all of the divisions that we'll see today. And we see Wolfson's just past the finish line, as will St. Anthony's in a second. And then we'll see if we still have to wait for St. Cat's. And yep, there's St. Cat's coming in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And we'll just kind of zoom out and probably pan down a little bit to see if St. Cat's are being chased by Teddy Hall W3, but I'm not sure they will be. And no, exactly. St. Cat's is the last boat in this division right now. So that means Teddy Hall W3 will have bumped St. Cat's W3. And we see the finish launch again with our launch driver and the emergency ambulance, first aiders if needed. And thankfully they haven't been. And hope, touch wood, they won't be at all this week.